What's up, Godzilla fans? Samson West here, and I'm going to do my next Godzilla figure review. Here's another requested video from a Mr. Slayer of Tears. He wanted to see me do this figure because it was the first figure he got, and he wanted to know my opinion on it. So, that's why I'm doing it. You others may ridicule me for this because you're going to hate this, but I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for Slayer of Tears. So, here you go, buddy. What I have here today is the Bandai Creations Godzilla 2000. And I actually really like the design of this figure. It's pretty well done for a Bandai Creations figure. The other figures in the line, they're not the most awesome things that you're ever going to purchase, but this one's pretty cool. I like the pose, and they did most of the colors right, and it's just pretty cool looking. So, okay, let's get to history on this guy. First movie appearance, Godzilla 2000. You know it, you love it, great movie. One of the first Godzilla movies I actually saw in theaters, because I'm just 20 years old, so most of the movies that came out didn't really come out in America, all the 90s movies at least. So I saw Godzilla 2000 in theaters with my grandpa. Pretty memorable experience, up until the last half of the movie. You guys won't believe it. During the fight sequence where Godzilla was killing Orga, the speakers in the theater actually blew out, and it was just this loud, horrendous roaring noise for the rest of the movie. We got to see a free movie, but I got to miss the last half of the sound. My luck. Anyway, Godzilla 2000. He fought Orga, he fought a giant aluminum ship. That's about it. It was the first time that he made a movie appearance since Godzilla vs. Destroya. And it's not necessarily a sequel to Godzilla vs. Destroya, although in Godzilla 2000 they do mention the fact that he keeps returning to save the people of Japan. Like, he'll do that. So this isn't like a revamp of the series necessarily. It's not like the first time Godzilla's ever showed up in Godzilla 2000. They've mentioned him before. So, yeah. Godzilla 2000, and also Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. He fought Megaguirus. They used the same suit from Godzilla 2000. Megaguirus is a giant dragonfly type thing from many, many, many years ago. It killed dinosaurs or something. I don't know. Japanese people are weird. They have good ideas, but they're strange. You gotta admit that. And plus, it's not the first time Godzilla fought a giant bug. And he totally killed it like any other monster, or giant anything, just a giant little thing, like a giant insect. He killed Kumonga by blowing his atomic breath on that. He kills any insect by just obliterating it with his atomic heat ray. And that's what he did. And they retired the suit, and they didn't use it again in Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. We all know that. So, that's the history on it. Short, brief, to the point. Now, detail on this guy. I actually think detail is pretty well done for this thing. I mean, there's not much that needs to be done. It's a Godzilla figure. It's charcoal black. It has the fins on the back, the tongue, the teeth, the eyes, the claws, and the toenails all painted. That's all that really needs to be done. There doesn't need to be that many forms of shading on it because Godzilla 2000 wasn't like a multicolored monster. And I do like the color on this guy. It's pretty well done. The fins are a little bit too purple for my taste. In the movie, they were like purple with like a 1% hint of pink. This one is just like full-on purple. That's all it is. But something that I will note that I like, I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to shift the figure so you can also see what I'm talking about. On the eyes. I love the little white spot in the middle of the pupil of the eye. They call that the soul of the eye. And that's pretty cool. It gives it more of like a unique look to the figure. It's just really cool looking in my opinion. And now that I'm zoomed in, you can also see the fins, what I'm talking about. They're a little too purple for my taste. They're just really purple. And they also blended his skin color right here into the fin color. That's not right. That's not completely right on this guy. Alright, so there we go. There's nails. It's just, all the nails is a solid white peach. Like, I don't know what you'd call that color, but it's just a solid color. It doesn't blend from his hands to the nails. It's just, boom, they got a paintbrush and dip, dip, dip. Got all his fingers on. Same with the toes. They did the same, no blending. It's just, they put it straight on. Teeth in the mouth are pretty cool. I like how he has fangs. It's not just like a bunch of little sharp teeth. The tongue is red. And that's it. There's not that many colors on this guy. So I'd say detail is really well done on this thing for a Bandai Creations figure. I also like his stance, how he has like a charging pose. He's about to attack. That's really cool in my opinion too. Okay, so that's detail. I give it a good 7 out of 10 because it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. Now, this thing doesn't have that much posability, so articulation is limited. Its arms do go like 180. They'll go back and then forward. Or he can scratch his crotch for a minute. See, he can just kind of do that. And his legs move all the way around. Well, except for the arms being in the way. There we go. They're not all the way in the way. The legs move all the way around. That's it. Not much more for it to really do. The tail has a glue seal, and I don't know about cracking it. I'm not going to because it doesn't matter that much to me. I'm not going to kill over if that doesn't move. It's not that bothersome. And the head is in a still position. The head is not articulated in any way. So that's posability. Nothing more. Just 4 points on this guy. Now, let's go to sizing. Sizing. Okay, you want to see what he looks like against his nemesis, or his enemy, or his bad guy, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Orga. Orga's pretty damn cool. I think he's one of the most unique monsters to start off the Millennium, and he's badass. I love him very, very much. So, what I have to say on this, sizing is actually not that great for these two because Godzilla was a little bit smaller than Orga, and right here you can clearly see that they're on par with each other. Godzilla is actually the slightest bit taller than Orga, and that's not right. I do have the Godzilla 2000 figure that fits perfect with Orga. Let me see, where is he? Here we go. The Bandai Memorial Box Godzilla 2000. Let me scoot this one out of the way and put this one right here. See that? That one works perfect. That one works just fine because Godzilla is just slightly out of scale with Orga. He's a little bit smaller, but not so small that he looks like, I don't know, midget. So, yeah, I like this a lot. This sizing works great. Not so much. Yes, very much. So, if you want to use the Bandai Creations Godzilla for anything, you can pose him by himself, or if you somehow use Play-Doh and like some silver spray paint and make the ship from Godzilla 2000, then you can put that against the Bandai Creations Godzilla. But I don't recommend him up against the Bandai Orga because the Orga is just a little bit too small compared to the Bandai Creations Godzilla. You could also put the Godzilla next to a Megaguirus, but I actually don't have my Megaguirus figure with me right now. I sent it off to get painted more movie color scheme wise because, you know, the Bandai Megaguirus isn't really like movie scheme colored. He's okay colored. So, yeah, I don't have him right now, but if I did, I'd also say that he would not size up well against Godzilla because the Bandai Megaguirus is a little bit too small to go with this Godzilla. If you want the perfect Godzilla 2000 figure, like I said before, the Bandai the Bandai Memorial Box Godzilla works great. It fits in scale with both Orga and the Megaguirus. So anyway, sizing on this guy, not so great, but it can work. For any of you guys that don't care that much, I'd say this works fine. Okay, move him out of the way. Yeah. What I also have, I do have the Godzilla, the normal Bandai Godzilla 2000. And he's much, much bigger than this figure, so he's also much, much bigger than Orga. And I'll go ahead and show you that also. See? This one is definitely out of scale with Orga. That is not right at all. Godzilla is almost looming over Orga, and that does not work. So, anyway, yep, there's those two. Get them out of the way. You can see this guy in the corner. Let's slide him back over in the center. Alright, so, you know, it's a basic figure for a USA-made toy. I do really like this one. He looks really cool on my shelf. I'm not going to, like, disown him for being a USA-made toy. So, anyway, Slayer of Tears, if I have to say anything about this figure, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Only because sizing isn't perfect, the paint job isn't that great, But I do like the detail and the pose that he's in. So that's the only thing that the reason why I'm giving him like a good 7 out of 10 instead of a 4 out of 10. So, okay, you guys, that's the end of my review. Sayonara.